can put 4 to 5 condensers.
You can turn your whole home into Snow City. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of TIR Insights, where I'm going to be going through the latest news, analysis, and new developments in the market. And today, we're going to be talking about a question that some of you might be having in your head.
Ha, Ian, CCR property still can buy meh?
And I can totally understand where all of this is coming from. So let's take a look at the Lumos. Right, this property has 0 profitable transactions and 5 unprofitable transactions, out of which the owners here have made up to $2.695 million losses in 15 years. Take a look at another one, Marina Bay Suites, only 10 profitable transactions, but 49 unprofitable transactions here. And owners here have lost up to $3.25 million in a span of 8 years. We take a look at Helios Residences, a freehold property, right? You might think this is good, but there's only 3 profitable properties and 48 unprofitable properties, and owners here have lost up to $6.1 million in just 6 years. I've went to compile all the top loss-making condominiums in the entire 2024, and you can see the losses range from $1.08 million all the way upwards to $2.52 million. Now, what do all these developments have in common is that they are all located in the CCR. So of course, that begs the question, right? Can you still buy properties in the CCR and hope to be profitable? Well, let's take a look at some examples because there are also winners in the CCR. For example, this property that you can see, $1.146 million profits made by the owner in just a span of 4 years. How about another property closer to the River Valley area where the owner made $1 million profits in just 3 years? So I think the correct question that we need to ask ourselves is this: what do all the losers have in common? Because if we are able to identify the factors that make these properties unprofitable, we will be able to avoid them, putting ourselves in a much better position and yet still enjoy the lifestyle of staying in the CCR area in Singapore. So I've identified that there are 4 main factors that made a difference. Number 1, they chose the wrong CCR district. Number 2, poor livability factors. Number 3, it is not homely. And number 4 is a bonus that I'm throwing in, so stay to the end of this video so you can find out for yourself. So let's talk about the first factor, the wrong CCR district. Now, so here's the map of Singapore, how it's been zoned between the OCR, RCR, and CCR areas. Now, specifically, where is the CCR? They are mainly located in District 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, and some parts of 4, 6, and 7. So I actually went to tabulate the top 50 CCR condos with the highest appreciation over the last decade from 2014 to 2024. And you can see them on the screen right now. Now, do you see a trend among all these 50 different condominiums? Notice their districts. Do you notice that they are all in the District 9, 10, and 11? So I've broken it down for you so it's much simpler. You can see that, for example, if we're talking about the neighborhood of Shenton Way, there are no reputable primary schools within the proximity. It is close by to amenities, but yet the neighborhood vibe is mainly an office area. So not very suitable, right, for family homestay. Same thing that can be seen in Raffles, same thing that can be seen in Tanjong Pagar, same thing that can be seen in Marina Bay, same thing that can be seen in City Hall Bugis area. However, when we take a look at maybe the Orchard area, that's where there are some developments that are within a proximity to, for example, ACS Junior, St. Margaret's Primary, right? Proximity to amenities, definitely in the Orchard Road shopping belt. And, you know, the vibes there is more catered towards a work and play for singles or for certain properties like a trophy home. So would I say that this is still suitable for family stay? Not really. So now, let me fast forward. Maybe let's look at the River Valley area. River Valley, right? Is there a primary school there that people might want to send their kids to? Yes, right? River Valley Primary, close to amenities at Great World City. And if you notice the River Valley area, it is a very family-oriented neighborhood. So if you were to ask someone, right, is this somewhere that would be suitable for their family to stay? The answer is yes. And essentially, right, all the CCR districts that have seen better performance, they are all in districts where at the end of the day, after evaluating the factors, they are suitable for family homestay. And those are the best districts in the CCR that you should target if you want to find a winning development. So some examples: Newton, Novena, Tanglin, Holland, Bukit Timah. The second factor that we're going to take a look at is the poor livability of developments in the CCR. So what do I mean by this? So let's take a look and find out what is wrong here. So this is a 3-bedroom, sounds very spacious at 1,249 square feet. But let me bring you to take a look at the balcony first. Do you notice how narrow the balcony is? This is not a very usable balcony, right? You cannot even fit a 4-seater dining table outside. Largely based on the width of this dining table, you will most likely be only able to put your clothes rack. Okay, so totally not usable space. Same thing here. During this time, there were certain incentives that developers got. So you can see that even though this is a 1,249 square feet, 3-bedroom, you have such an excessive aircon ledge as well, right? Easily here, you can put 4 to 5 condensers. You can turn your whole home into Snow City. Also, for this 3-bedroom, it has an open kitchen. I don't think this is something that most families would want in their homes, especially the moment you start any heavy cooking for a family of 4, a family of 5, the whole house will start to stink. And of course, because there was so much wasted space not being efficiently used in this particular layout, we can see that the 3rd bedroom sadly can only fit a single bed. So I don't think at 3-bedroom, 1,249 square feet, this is an efficient use of space, not livable, not suitable for families down the road. And hence, that is why most families will reject this layout as they will find that it is not suitable for their family. As you can only guess, people who bought this development with a very poor livability, they were making multiple owners of negative $1 million losses, upwards to $1.558 million losses, even after holding the property for 9 years. Now I show you another 2 3-bedroom layouts. That was 3-bedroom at 1,701 square feet, another 3-bedroom at 1,399 square feet. And can you see what's the problem here? Do you notice that there's multiple bay windows, multiple planter boxes, big aircon ledges, right? All totally unusable space, eating up the internal area, and hence, a lot of the common bedrooms can only fit a single bed. Which to me, a lot of buyers in the market, they will ask themselves, why should I pay for all this wasted space? And if the buyer is not willing to pay for all this wasted space, they will discount it through their offer prices. Hence, we can see that for these 2 developments, owners here have lost up to $6.1 million even after holding the property for 6 years. The third factor that you can find in loser properties in the CCR is that they are not homely. So what do I mean by this? Marina Bay Residences, 3 minutes walk to downtown MRT, right? It is proximity to 3 different MRT stations. It is right beside the Marina Bay Financial Center, and some units even have a beautiful view of the Marina Bay area. Most people thought that, hey, this would be a fantastic investment. I mean, who wouldn't want to stay near the MRT, near the office, and also get to enjoy sea view when you come home, right? Well, take a look at Marina Bay Residences, where there were losses up to $2.579 million even after the owner has held the property for 14 years. Incredibly long, more than a decade, and he still made more than $2 million losses. And why is this so? Is because when you look at the unit mix for Marina Bay Residences, you can see that 73% of the development are all small units, mainly investment units, where 3, 4, 5-bedroom, which are more of the family-owned stay, right, family-oriented layouts, only contribute to roughly 28%. So what does this mean is that basically most families wouldn't want to stay in a development whereby your neighbors are going to be changing and shifting every 1 to 2 years. It almost feels like you are not staying in a home, but a long-term hotel. So because of this, there will be a lack of families wanting to move and stay in this area. Hence, that affected the capital growth of this particular development. Same thing can be seen in Robinson Suites. So Robinson Suites is actually one of the 8 freehold condominiums in the entire Tanjong Pagar area. So most people thought, wow, fantastic, freehold property near the MRT. Most people thought that this would be a fantastic investment as well. But take a look at some of the performance for Robinson Suites. Up to $981,000 losses even after holding the property for 10 years. Even for a freehold. Now, why did this happen is because when we look at the unit mix for Robinson Suites, we can see that 100% of the entire development is small unit types of 1 and 2 bedrooms, right? So pure investment. Now, when you're buying a pure investment property, it's very counterintuitive that it is not good as an investment if you're talking about capital appreciation, right? Can you imagine losing up to $981,000 after holding the property for 10 years? Do you think your rental for a 1 and 2 bedroom is going to be able to cover that? Highly unlikely. Now, if you have watched to this point, I'm going to share with you the fourth factor as a bonus, which is that all the loser condominiums in the CCR areas, they tend to be boutiques or are low elevation developments. So let me show you what I mean. We have 26 Newton, 5 minutes walk to the Newton MRT. It's freehold and it's within 1 kilometer to both ACS and SJI. This fits all the traditional criteria of location that people are always talking about. But yet, when we look at the performance for 26 Newton, we can see that there are only 4 profitable transactions, but 14 unprofitable transactions with losses up to $206,000 even after holding the property for 6 years. And why is this so? Is because when we look at 26 Newton, there's only 180 units. So it's actually a small development. Now, what is the problem with small developments is that the law of big numbers is not in your favor. Just by percentage terms, there's not going to be enough transaction volumes to bring the valuation up within a short period of time. And any 1 to 2 transactions that are sold at an unforgiving price or an unfavorable price will put a lot of massive downward pressure towards the development itself. So hence, 26 Newton failed to perform with 14 unprofitable transactions with losses up to $206,000. Next, we have Sophia Hills. So this is a development that's 2 minutes walk to the Dhoby Ghaut MRT, which is an interchange across 3 different MRT lines. It is a stone throw away to Plaza Singapura. So fantastic, right? Very close to amenities. And also, it is within 1 kilometer to St. Margaret's Primary School. So same thing, it fits all the traditional criteria of location. For Sophia Hills, it is not a small development, right? It has 493 units. So pretty big if you ask me. Now for Sophia Hills, thankfully, this is not totally a bad story because for Sophia Hills, there are owners who actually made money, right? So there's 72 profitable transactions versus only 23 unprofitable transactions. So still okay, but when we dive deeper, we can see that the owners here, after holding the property for 8 years, they made roughly around $400,000, which in actual fact, if you break it down, that's only about $50,000 per year. Not very impressive considering you're going to be spending quite a large sum on a property in the CCL. And when we look at the unprofitable transactions, we can see that they have made losses up to $168,000 even after holding the property for 4 years. So what is the problem with Sophia Hills? It is that it's only a 5-story building. So why does that matter? Let me explain it to you. So I'm going to switch my screens a little bit right now to kind of illustrate and share with you why a 20-story versus a 5-story building is going to have different impact towards your profitability. So very simply, for a 5-story building and a 20-story building, let's say in both cases, right, the owners here want to make, let's say, 100K profits, right? So for the 5-story development, right, in order to hit 100K, everybody needs to sell 20K higher, right? Every floor needs to sell 20K higher. Versus the 20-story development, everybody only needs to sell 5K higher. So very simply, just ask yourself this question, which is easier to command? Is it easier to ask someone to pay you $5,000 more, or is it easier to ask someone to pay you $20,000 more? Right? So definitely $5,000 more. Hence, the floor loading per floor is going to be lesser for a higher rise development, which in the end might make more sense, right, for a buyer to psychologically comprehend paying that premium. Because imagine, let's say a 20th floor unit over here is going to be $2 million. And the 5th story unit over here is also $2 million because they are both in the same size, same location, side by side. The only difference is that for both developments, the 20th floor unit is the top floor. The 5th floor unit is also the top floor, right? So the owners might think, hey, I can command the same price. But psychologically, the buyer would look at it and say, hey, I'm paying a 20-floor unit at $2 million for the same price as a 5th floor unit. Why should I pay for a 5th floor unit at the same $2 million? Now, this is a reason why I would not prioritize low elevation tenements. So these are the 4 factors you must take note to avoid buying a loser development in the CCR. Now, if you want me to do a review for you for your purchase or your current existing portfolio, you can reach out to me through my WhatsApp over here and we'll get in touch shortly. Of course, if you like this video and found it insightful and informative for you, do me a favor, like it, share it, and comment down below one reason why you will not buy a CCR property. Talk to you soon.